And welcome to part 3 of Is Your ERP Ready for the Age of Personalization, featuring Stuart Kiely, Vice President of Digital Strategy at Matouk. In this video, we're going to talk about visibility and visibility across manufacturing projects, including personalized manufacturing projects and visibility across a customer from a service perspective. Let's get started.
So now let's go kind of more into the heart of ERP now a little bit. And we were talking about personalization and being a personalized manufacturing or custom manufacturing is very different than make to stock. I know you do some make to stock as well, but can you talk about the importance of sort of project manufacturing and having that capability to handle that, fairly complex set of products that you've got as well?
Yeah, I mean, so you can imagine when you're dealing, in the volumes that we deal with, and it's a combination of stock product with a lot of custom mixed in. I mean, we're creating, large work orders for large quantities, to store in stock and finished goods inventory, and then sprinkled in there are this very kind of like wide assortment of custom work orders that could be anything from like a monogram stock product to like a made to order product. And Rootstock and its capabilities around project management has allowed us to really kind of isolate those work orders and link them back to sales orders in a very kind of direct way, so that at any given time we know exactly where a custom work order is in the process, whether if it's on the shop floor, if it hasn't been put into work yet, if it's in the finished goods fulfillment center. It sits in a project specific location. So again, it's kind of differentiated from stock, and it can be tracked through the whole system. So here you're looking at an example of one of our screens that allows a customer service agent or anybody to kind of look up a sales order and find out exactly where it is. Has the work been completed on it? Is it sitting in FGFC, or sorry, finished goods inventory? Is it in WIP? If it's in WIP, exactly where on the shop floor is it? And it really kind of gives real-time granular insight into where custom is, and again kind of like goes back to this whole business strategy of really needing to kind of differentiate our ability to do personalization and customization here in Fall River. This ability to kind of segment stock from custom within the system has been really important and powerful for us.
Yeah, you kind of flip the shop floor on its head and look at it by project. So it's I can see where that'd be quite valuable. Then I guess the other thing that you mentioned earlier on was with your older system, it was pretty difficult to get visibility into different things. You have a lot of different systems or even manual systems in some cases. You want to talk about how you're using dashboards to manage production and planning?
Yes, I mean, this has been a huge win for us. Prior to having all this information in one central place, department heads would be responsible kind of for reporting on, productivity metrics, et cetera. And, first of all, it was time consuming to generate these reports, and, it was never super clear, what the singular source of truth was, so to speak. So, with Rootstock and leveraging the power of the reporting and dashboard functionality, each department at Matouk really kind of lives on a day-to-day basis around kind of reports and dashboards that are automatically sent out every morning. So, this is one example of one of our dashboards for our production manufacturing team, which tracks kind of the health of key metrics around the manufacturing process. So specifically, how well are we doing completing work orders on time that are stock versus custom? How much WIP is on the shop floor that's due in the next 21 days? All kinds of metrics that help the operation run more effectively. And it's amazing from an organizational standpoint. When you first of all, you first have insight is information, you kind of get some cultural, like, people get nervous. It's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that there was so much scrutiny, within the system. And initially there's like almost like a standoff, people are standoffish around it. But very quickly they get aligned around it, and they almost look forward to seeing this data come out, on a nightly basis or every morning. And it was amazing to kind of watch the impact of this on the manufacturing process and how very quickly people would get excited about seeing the nightly number. And we took one of our biggest wins here, and we've been live with Rootstock for over a year now, but last year we took our manufacturing lead time from about 4 weeks down to 10 days, through a number of different aspects of the system. But I attribute one of them to be the ability to bring everybody into focus on what's important, what are the key metrics that we need to focus on, and how do we optimize around those. So this has been kind of a huge way to organize all departments around common goals that are set at the leadership level.
That's a tremendous increase in velocity for the business when you think about it, and it's just getting everybody on the same page. It's I guess what it's all about, right?
Totally, and having the transparency and the shared goal, is really big.
Yeah, it sounds like you did a great job culturally aligning what you're doing. Not, you put in a system, it's one thing. It's not that the system dictates everything. It's a cultural change as well, and getting people to embrace it. Sounds like you did some great job on change management there. Then the last example we wanted to show was to kind of bring home the point about bringing CRM information and ERP information, the system of engagement, and the system of records all in together in one place. And so, Stuart, could you explain a little bit what you've done here in this service console?
Yeah, I mean, if there's any one snapshot that tries to summarize or get at kind of the gist or the crux of, like, I think what we're trying to do as a company, this is it. I mean, what you're looking at is a Service Cloud console that our customer service team uses, and it really, we're not totally there yet. I mean, this is a work in process. We're continuing to build on this, but really it gets at this singular view of the customer. All the touch points that we have with a customer, whether it be sales order information, shipments, all the Rootstock data is down the right, or other things that are related to customer service or other touch points. So, have they called in to us recently? You can see the activity history down on the left. You have outbound calls, inbound calls. We have emails that go out. We have marketing touch points. Did they follow us on social media? When was their last order? Have there been cases or issues or customer service issues with this customer in the past? Really, really powerful information. And this system links up to our phone system, so you can kind of see over on the right, if this customer calls in, our customer service agent is automatically, before they even answer the phone, this screen is up, and they are now ready to service this customer, armed with all the information that they could possibly need to answer the question that they might have effectively, or influence that conversation one way or another. So it's really, this is something that we've been working towards, and then we continue to kind of build on. But it really, I think, depicts, in an illustrative way, this joining together of manufacturing traditional ERP information with other kind of quantitative and qualitative information about that customer that's going to build over time, so that we can tighten that relationship, and basically increase ultimately the lifetime value of that customer. The stronger the relationship, we think, the higher the lifetime value, and obviously the greater the financial benefits to Matouk. So this is something that we're pretty proud of, and excited to keep building on this as we move forward.
Yeah, you should be. And thanks for providing this example. Everyone, we've had to blur out the names of some of the customers to protect the names of the innocent, but really appreciate you providing this example, Stuart. I think it really brings it home. So we've got, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of give us your final thoughts. You've talked about a number of the things here. Some of them we didn't touch on, but anything you want to kind of say in summary here?
Well, yeah. So I mean, I think our move to the cloud, is I'd say in its infancy still. I mean, we're about a year and a half into it, and I feel like we've done some amazingly innovative and kind of forward-thinking things, especially for a 90-year-old manufacturer of textiles. It's kind of cool to kind of see all the ways that we're using technology and connecting with different different services on the Salesforce platform and beyond to kind of further the business. But the beauty, I think, of moving to a platform like this is that the sky's really the limit, and we continue to kind of dream up ways that we can make this system work for us versus us having to kind of conform to the system. I think of all of my experience in systems, the beauty and flexibility of being on a platform, like the Force.com platform, is that it just allows for infinite flexibility. So if you can think it up, you can make it happen. And I think that point offers a lot of kind of value to businesses that are looking at evaluating this as a platform to kind of move key systems like ERP, to the cloud. It really kind of allows you to iterate, develop, keep up with the times, and keep pace with how technology is evolving. There's been a lot of quantifiable benefits that we've had with this move. I mentioned the reduction in the manufacturing lead time. Our ability to forecast and plan product velocity better has allowed us to grow sales in 2017 by about 15%, while keeping our finished goods inventory completely flat to the prior year. And so that has pretty big benefits from an inventory turn perspective. How much capital we have tied up in inventory. And ultimately, it's just allowing us to fulfill and react to customer demands, a lot more quickly and effectively. So yeah, I think like if anybody was evaluating, a move to the cloud like this, we've had a lot of success with it. I'm not going to say that any ERP implementation, you don't run into kind of like unexpected twists and turns in the road. But I think the beauty of having it on the Salesforce platform allows you to kind of react, and get through those, and conform your business processes, or have the system, I should say, conform to your business processes versus the other way around. I think one of the intangibles that we've seen on this, we didn't really expect it, going into the project, but I do think it's very real. Is the effect that the system has had on folks throughout our company, in terms of just morale and people thinking creatively about how to solve kind of a business challenge. Like I mentioned that example of the vendor portal with Penny Pockets, and that really came out of a dialogue, a conversation with our manufacturing team. These guys are, they live and breathe in manufacturing, products all day, not necessarily on the technology side. But the fact that we could come together as a group, kind of think about ways to creatively address the challenge utilizing the technology, and then to see it come to fruition, has brought an incredible amount of satisfaction to the team and all the people who use the Rootstock Salesforce system, here at Matouk. So there's been this very, from an employee kind of productivity, morale, kind of feeling a sense of ownership, creative input into the process. That is also something that I think moving to a platform like Salesforce really allows for. And we're excited to kind of continue more. We're starting to build out a footprint on the Marketing Cloud, which is one of Salesforce's other marketing clouds. So actually hooking up tools like email marketing, and having that kind of tied into all this data as well, so we can continue to allow the marketing team to take action on this data and connect to people, with the right message at the right time. We've even done some experimenting with Einstein, which is Salesforce's new partnership with IBM Watson. We took about 30,000 work orders from 2017, and we fed them into Einstein, which is this artificial intelligence functionality of the platform. And it was crazy to kind of see what it spit back. We were kind of doing it in like a pilot format, so we weren't really necessarily like looking for any information. We were just kind of kicking the tires on the functionality. But it's amazing to think that a 90-year-old manufacturer of textiles can be pushing work order data into an artificial intelligence engine that's built into our ERP system. It's a functionality in our ERP system, and have this crazy machine learning kick back information about how work orders are flowing through the shop floor, how they might be able to move forward, more effectively, what products, stall things, et cetera, et cetera. It's really pretty amazing capability, and we're, excited to continue on with it.
Well, it's a fantastic story here, Stuart. I mean, you increase the speed of the business, you increase sales while keeping inventory flat, lower the number of service calls, and grew sales while simultaneously implementing an ERP system. So I find it incredible and a great American success story, as we said, right there in Fall River, Massachusetts. So with that, thank you very much, Stuart, so much for doing this today.